Time to Talk, back with another predictions video this weekend for League 2 fixtures. This weekend it is week 13. I know some teams have only played 11, but for most it will be the 13th fixture of the league season. Some interesting games and exciting games to watch this weekend. I will be looking to try and predict them, but as ever, League 2 is a very unpredictable league, so it's a very difficult task for me to do. We do want to ask for this week's games, if you want to join in, that you can see if you can predict the first team that will score the first goal across all games. So if you pick MK Dons, for example, and they score in the 8th minute, and that is the first goal across all fixtures, you will win for this weekend. So please do get involved. Next weekend, we are looking to do the same competition, and we will have a prize next weekend. This is just a practice run, but it's always good to get a practice in. So next thing then, let's get into the predictions and we'll see what we have in store for this weekend. First game up then is Cambridge versus Bromley. Cambridge had an unlikely loss last weekend against Shrewsbury. Bit of a shock really, that one, but they are better at home with only losing one so far this season. Bromley, great win at Crewe away last time out. They do draw a lot of games though, so I think this one is also going to end in a draw. Cambridge 2, Bromley 2. Next up then, and it's Salford versus Oldham. Bit of a local derby really. I'm not sure if there's much rivalry between the two teams, but that's to be seen. Salford are on a bit of a crazy spell at the moment. They've lost the last 3, now going to be in orange as well. Maybe that can turn their favours around, who knows. Not sure when the orange kits are going to be released. Be interesting to see them in orange, see them in red for so long. I think they will test Oldham's defence with Daniel Ado, I think his name is. He's been playing really well recently. Oldham as well, though, their only away loss has only been at Notts County. Interestingly enough, I think it might be a close affair, but I think Salford edge this one 2-1. Accrington versus Swindon. Accrington struggling to score, not scored in their last 3 league games, and Swindon are second in the league, so they are going strong. No draws yet for Swindon either, with plenty of entertainment for the Swindon fans, and I think they'll be too strong for Accrington here. Accrington currently sit in 20th. It's not looking too good, and I think they'll lose 2-0 to Swindon. Barnet, Notts County, the next game then. I do think this is going to be a very exciting game. Plenty of goals in it, and two teams that are coming into it in really good form in terms of performances. I know Notts County's away form doesn't look too great on paper, 20th in the table, but hopefully we can turn that around against Barnet. These great form for Barnet at the moment, won 4 of their last 5 in the league and drew the other, so unbeaten in 5. Their starting keeper, though, did get sent off their last game, so that could be taken advantage of by Jatta and co. I think here that Notts County may push it to 3-1. Barnet, first loss in 5. Bristol Rovers versus Tranmere this time then. Massive loss to MK for Bristol last game. They lost 4-0. Could really impact their confidence as they seem to start to click before then. But I do think they will get back to winning ways here. Tranmere struggling of late and only 1 away win this season. Bristol Rovers 2, Tranmere 1. Chesterfield, Fleetwood. Chesterfield great at home recently. Their away form isn't too great, but I think they'll take advantage of how good they've been at home recently. Fleetwood, they did beat Harrogate last time out, but are struggling for consistency. Chesterfield 2, Fleetwood 1. Colchester, Harrogate. Colchester have won 3 wins in a row now, coming against top half teams, so looking really positive for them. Possibly turning a corner and looking to shoot up the table. We'll see if they can keep that up going forward. Harrogate lost their last 2. I do not think they can stop Colchester in this one. I did say at the start of the season, Harrogate may struggle a little bit in terms of stopping teams this time round. They have managed to do it in some games, but this one I think will also be too much for them. Colchester 1, Harrogate 0. Grimsby versus Gillingham. Both teams coming into this not really looking too convincing at the moment, struggling for form. Grimsby did beat Cheltenham 7-1 a few weeks ago, but other than that, there's not really much to shout about. I think they will turn up against Gillingham here, though. They'll want to set a mark and kind of turn things around against a team that's at the top of the table. Gillingham struggling also, like I said at the minute. Still 3rd in the league, though, so maybe they can turn it around and find themselves a bit back to where they were at the start of the season. Do think it's going to be a closely contested game here. and I'm expecting a draw. Grimsby 2, Gillingham 2. MK Dons versus Crewe. MK Dons looking really good at the minute, looking to put behind them their rocky start to the season, and they are finding the net really easily as well. They put 4 past Bristol last time, and I think they will find the net again quite easily this time against Crewe. Crewe are a tricky team to work out. Some good results, some bad ones. Losses to Bromley and Barrow in there, but obviously they beat Notts County, which was a massive win for them at the time. If MK Dons can deal with their set pieces, I do think MK Dons will see this one out, and I'm going for an MK Dons 2-1 win against Crewe. Newport, Cheltenham, sort of a battle at the bottom end of the table then. Newport did grab a win against Accrington, which obviously helps their fight in terms of staying up when it comes towards the end of the season. I do think both teams kind of lack that extra edge and that quality to go further up the table. Newport did win against Cardiff in the Cup recently, which would have been a massive win for them and their fans, which may have boosted them a little. Be interesting to see how long they can ride that wave from that Cardiff win. I think it'll be a pretty even game. Cheltenham do have Cottrell that's come in now, has had a win in his first game, since then a loss and a draw. Be interesting to see how that story unfolds throughout the rest of the season. But yeah, I see a draw here, 1-1, Newport, Cheltenham. Shrewsbury Crawley then, really shock win for Shrewsbury against Cambridge last week. Didn't expect that at all. Thought Cambridge would be a bit more harder to beat, and I think everyone would have expected Cambridge to beat a struggling Shrewsbury side. Is it things to look at in terms of improvements? Are they going to get better? Are they starting to improve, or was it a one-off? It's difficult to know at this stage. Crawley, they lost 3 league games in a row and then went and drew against Walsall. Very interesting result for both teams last week. Walsall, you would really expect to have beaten Crawley. Obviously, it was an away game for them, so maybe Crawley took advantage of that. Difficult one to call, but Crawley do have the second worst away results in the league, so I'm going to go for a Shrewsbury 1-0 win. Last game of the weekend then, and it's Walsall versus Barrow. This should be pretty plain sailing for Walsall at home. Won 5, drawn 1, lost 1. Top of the league as well. I think they'll get back to winning ways here. Against Barrow, who I think have taken a bit of a backward step this season. They have steadied somewhat recently after a bad spell, but just won't have enough quality to get anything against the Walsall side that are doing really well at the minute despite the draw last weekend at Crawley. I'm going Walsall 2, Barrow 0. That's all the League 2 fixtures predicted by me then this weekend. There is some exciting games in there. I do think the Barnet Notts County game, I know I'm a bit biased, is going to be the star game just with how both teams are looking at the moment. I will be attending, so me and Tom will also be there from Notts County Talk. If you see us, do give us a shout, say hello. Happy to talk to everyone we see at away games. Really looking forward to it tomorrow. Please do remember as well, in the comments, if you want to have a go, you can pick your team that you think will score the first goal across all fixtures this weekend. So if you pick Shrewsbury and they score in the 12th minute, and that's the first goal amongst all games in the league, you will win on that one. It is a practice run this weekend, but do get that practice run in because next weekend we will be given a prize for a winner. So it's a good opportunity to see how well you do ahead of that one. Thanks all for watching the video this week. Please do remember to comment and subscribe, and look out for a matchday vlog tomorrow and match reaction and more Pavers perspectives.